We are live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto. Today is March 6, 2024, and I'm your host, Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10ish. And we got some great news stories for you today. A little bit of a slow day, however, was some big action in the market. And some of our stories today are Binance temporarily suspends Solana network with withdrawals, citing increased volume. Had to pause them draws. Hey, man, we've seen this plenty of times before. Bitcoin flash crash wipes $1 billion in speculative excess from markets. And El Salvador, El Salvador's Bitcoin holdings hit record $164 million as Bitcoin profits passed 50 million. And before we get into those stories today, let's take a look at our prices. Like I stated before, it was a pretty wild day as far as prices go. Again, once we get into the fear and greed index, like we've stated before, we start seeing extreme greed. That's when you start seeing prices going crazy. Bitcoin, $65,706, down 4.7% today. Ethereum at $3,769, down 1.3%. Binance Coin at $417, down 0.7%. Solana sitting at 127 is down 8.4% today. XRP sitting at 59 cents is down 8.5% today. Cardano at 71 cents is down 8.5% today. And Dogecoin at 15 cents is down 16% on the day after a huge gain. And coming in at number 10, Shiba Inu. Good gracious, boy. Shiba Inu made it to the top 10. Worth less than a penny with a hole in it, and it's down 17% on the day. So some of the trending coins, Pepe, Jito, and Shiba Inu. Some of the ones, some of the recently added, Cybonk, Daily Finance, What's Up Dog. Everything has a dog in it. People love dogs. And they've added a new one, most visited, Solidus AI Tech, DexCheck, and Rich Quack. I have no clue what they are, but more importantly, this extreme greed, we're still at 86. 86 in extreme greed is pretty high. I still think once you hit that area, you could stay there for a good amount of time, depending on how the markets move. But as of right now, we are still in that extreme greed era. So we've seen it go from neutral, we've seen it go to greed, now extreme greed, where you have people taking out loans to do leverage trading on less than $1 million cap coins. I've seen it all at this point. I think on CNN or somewhere they had like their guests actually discussing dog whiff coin and cat whiff coin. Like I was describing it yesterday, and I tried to tell people. I said, I've seen these coins when they pop up, they get $1 billion in market cap out of nowhere, and then they get on mainstream TV and make themselves look foolish, absolutely foolish. And yeah, that's the times we're in. You got to understand, this is like the casino. You're gonna see some wild swings. You're gonna see some crazy things going on, but we're definitely here to keep you updated on the news today. So, top story of the day: Binance temporarily suspends Solana network withdrawals, citing increased volume. Again, I mean, I've said this about, let's see, we've said this about Coinbase especially, but we've said this probably for at least 5 years now. I'm even wearing my no keys, no cheese hoodie today. And it's funny because most of the time when you tell people that, they think of it as, okay, well, I'll get it off before, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it later and next week. And then you just wake up one day and gray button comes. And if you saw Coinbase, they literally had a gray buy button. But the world's largest crypto exchange also faced some performance issues recently. They got a lot of stuff going on, actually. Binance intermittently suspended withdrawals from the work due to an increased volume of transactions. Binance expects to implement a solution and resume withdrawals starting March 9th, according to a Binance announcement released on March 6th. So the transactions, even though these are billion-dollar companies, somehow they can't handle the volume of transactions. I don't know who's doing their infrastructure, or if it's built using AWS infrastructure or internal, but this just doesn't just happen. Trust me, this isn't something that just is random, and they can't do anything about it. Honestly, the main thing is that they that they went down, and of course the price went right with the outages. They said may have been caused by growing retail interest paired with growing workloads from algorithmic trading firms. Ivo Krinchovich Rupsamen, say that 3 times fast, the chief strategy officer and technical lead for trading at the DYDX exchange, told Cointelegraph an exclusive interview. He states, because there's so much retail interest and price action is moving so fast, all of the algorithmic trading firms are vastly increasing the rate of order placements and cancels they want to send to the matching engine to maintain their positions. It's common for a trading firm to 20 times the output of orders and cancels at a very busy time. And this is the dirty little secret for most people if they don't understand. The dirty little secret of exchanges is that they have a built-in fail-safe no matter what. It could be worth billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, the exchange can. They have a built-in fail-safe where if there's increased volume, like we saw with GME, if anybody remembers that, on Robinhood, we've seen it on larger exchanges when there's high volume, and crashes and stock crashes and things. They can literally pause the exchange. And for those of you who don't understand how that works, you don't have to from a technical level. Just think of it like this: if you were a business and the market was crashing and you didn't have a fail safe and you can't cover those orders, you could essentially lose your entire business in one day. And that's exactly what we've seen with smaller, like these little small DeFi exchanges and crypto exchanges. You'll see them go away in literally a day or a week because they couldn't handle the volume of exchanges. They didn't have that fail safe in place, or they didn't do it correctly. Can't handle the number of orders, had to cancel all the orders, and then lost the entire customer base. So in order to prevent that, in order to keep that business running, all you do is you create a template, you copy and paste it. You have the same same message every single time. Just edit the date. Oh, we are experiencing outages due to volume, and we're sorry we can't process your order. This come back 3 days from now. I mean, it's happened so many times at this point. Anybody that's been here longer than a couple of years has to see the pattern and has to understand that you have to be in position. You can't wait for the price to start going up, and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, now I'm gonna jump into it, because you're probably gonna run into this issue, and you're not gonna be able to sell or buy or get or withdraw, as Binance has shown today. And it may be an indication of a bigger problem. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but I think with the issues they're having in Nigeria with the SEC right now, Binance is looking kind of shaky. However, if to me, if they kiss the ring and they decide to basically play ball, then a lot of these problems will go away. So let's see. Let me take a look at some of the people in the chat. Good morning, everybody. I can see the chat today. Yesterday was kind of weird. Let's see. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button. Lord Smith, Jerome James, Ancarino. Good morning. Let's see. They ran out of Solana. Yeah, maybe. That's another issue as well. They have things in place where they can see the supply, they can see the number of orders coming, and then all you have to do is push the button, turn it off. It literally is a button. It's not some super technical geek sitting behind a computer who's coding away and then it all of a sudden shuts down. Like, no, it's just one button push, shut it down, player. Let's see. Who else we got in here? Oh, shout out Corey. Hey, good brother, new subscriber. I love seeing our brothers and sisters taking advantage of this new financial system. Absolutely. Been here 10 years, going on 11 in October. Been here a long time. Been doing this show, been around for 7 years. Glad to have you, brother. Always good to have new people in as well. So let's jump to our next story of the day. Bitcoin flash crash wipes $1 billion in speculative excess in markets. And again, this is something that is not surprising, simply because we did have a near all-time high. We didn't hit the all-time high officially, but other countries have, but just not in America. Billions of dollars in leverage, keyword leverage, was wiped from the crypto market as Bitcoin plunged 14% in a few hours after briefly a new all-time high. And of course, Peter Schiff creamed his pants when he saw this, because it gave him opportunity to tweet, see guys, it's not a store of value, not like gold. We've been going sideways for 50 years, people. We're the best stable store of value long term, and in reality, gold doesn't even keep up with inflation most of the time. So crypto traders using options and futures to gain exposure to Bitcoin are out of pocket staggering $1 billion, which isn't much for a $1 trillion market. That's not very much. It's a big number, but again, it's not much in the grand scheme of things. On-chain analytics provider Santiment wrote that the changes for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana declined significantly after the Bitcoin all-time high the previous day. Open interest fell 1.46% over the course of a few hours, while Ethereum dropped 967 million and Solana tumbled 424 million. So if Bitcoin does have a crash, it crashes even harder. We've seen that over and over and over. Same thing with as far as growth in price. If Bitcoin has a big growth in price, then other coins grow even faster. So it's sort of that, when you have a cold, they have a flu type thing. The price all-time high, I don't know why people say that. I thought I could have sworn the all-time high was 69.4, but they said just above 69,200, only 69,044 in November 2021. So I guess that's what they're using as the all-time high, but maybe I was tripping. Maybe I thought it was 404. Who cares? But if we don't go past 75K convincingly, that to me, that's not a real all-time high. This was right at the top. We saw somebody from 2010 come back and start selling their selling their Bitcoin. We saw a bunch of different people start selling at that all-time high price or close to it. So that's why you had that dump. But yeah, anytime you see these huge movements in price, the crash is coming. If you're looking at dollar cost averaging or buying at opportune times in a bull market, every single crash or every single drop, 5 to 10% dip, you should be buying on the way up. Like I said, a slow grind up, when you zoom out from the chart, it looks like nothing whenever you look at it long term. When you zoom in, all of a sudden you're like, oh man, this is a huge crash. They can make it look however they want with the picture, but when you look at it gradually going up, that's natural. It's just natural market behavior right here. So let's see, a couple people joining. We got a few more people joining onto the show. Make sure to hit that like, please. Make sure to subscribe as well. Let's see who else we got. Satoshi Slim, what's up? What's up? King, yeah, you said King wherever you are. Well, King just moved actually. Shout out to King, just got on a brand new spot, brand new swanky spot, and he's been moving this week. So he'll be back hopefully Friday or next week. So definitely. Let's see what else we got. Memories with Mike, maybe a config file change, but I bet it's as easy as a toggle switch. Yes, I know it is. I've watched somebody build it who was building an exchange show me how easy it is to cut the exchange off. It's just a toggle switch. It's one put. The code is already coded. It's just a toggle switch. It's just one push, and then maybe they have to send it to a superior for approval. Maybe, but sometimes they give the engineers. They send them an email and say, "Hey, shut it down." They shut it down. They don't have to get an approval or anything. That's about it. So let's see. Satoshi Slim, I farted 14% and burped 20. Trad 5 fears don't apply here like that. Exactly. There's some people that are basically saying if this happened in the traditional market, everybody around the world will be scared. And that's why we are, they call us a bunch of crazy lunatic, autistic weirdos who can deal with any type of drops in markets because, again, it doesn't really affect you when you understand the long-term game. Let's see. Ancarino, Laura, move all that crumpled tinfoil wigs. Yeah, never going away. I'm wearing the tinfoil toboggan forever. DM car, it's a live family when the price goes up and down. Exactly. I think we're the only market where you have people excited both times, like both ways. Whether it goes up or down, who gives a shit? Both ways are good for the market, and that's why I think traditional finance has trouble wrapping their head around it because they're like, why would people be happy at a lower price? Well, when you have a scarce asset, the ability to buy it at a cheaper price is always fun. But then as the value goes up, that's always fun as well. So they can't destroy our joy. You can't take my joy. So let's see. Let's get into our next story, our final story of the day. Like I said, not too much news. The news has been lacking really the last few months with the ETFs. They were just piggybacking off of that, it seems like. But El Salvador Bitcoin holdings hit record 164 million as Bitcoin profits passed $50 million. Bitcoin adoption in Ecuador has netted the government up to 53 million in profits thanks to the BTC price record highs. So more than 150 million now, and it first appeared as legal tender in El Salvador in 2022, which we all know. And it's crazy because when people say Bitcoin isn't real, the one thing they have to realize is that it was made legal tender in both El Salvador and Central African Republic, which essentially technically made it a quote unquote real currency, even though it was before. All the currency has to have is network effect and a use case, and it's real. If people are using it, it's real. So he stated that they will start purchasing 1 Bitcoin a day. Not quite Michael Saylor-ish, but they have amassed 2,380 Bitcoins thus far. At this current all-time high price, they have 164 million. If we, let's say 4x, 5x from here, they'll be somewhere close to $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, which and in the future, I think they'll have $1 trillion worth of Bitcoin once they introduce volcano bonds. So shout out to them. This quote here is basically what we've all been saying for years. We won't sell, of course, at the end of one Bitcoin. At the end, one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. This was true when the market price was low, and it's true now. But it's very telling that the authors of those hit pieces, the analysts, the experts, the journalists, are totally silent now. And I'm with you because, one of the main things that we've done, and some of the other people who've been around long in the space, we've never gone anywhere. People are like, well, where are all the Bitcoin and crypto people when the price goes down? It's like, we're sitting right here. Where are you at? We don't know where you are. We're still at the conferences. We're still having meetups. We're still writing books, doing podcasts, doing interviews, coming up with new creative ideas, education funds, investing in business and tech businesses. What are y'all doing? That's the question. Where are you at? So Nayib Bukele is basically asking the same question. Like, it doesn't matter what happens with the price. We're gonna keep pushing along regardless. And because one Bitcoin, we all know, equals one Bitcoin. It's not about the USD price. It's about the percentage of the supply that you have. So let's see. Let's take a last look at the comments here. Let's see. Bitcoin Shango doing dad duty, laughing at the usual roller coaster ride, loving to see new folks get humbled. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I turned off price alerts probably like a year or two ago, completely, just across the board. I don't even know the price until I get on Twitter, which that's if I even get on there. I don't even know the price because it really does not matter at this point. And if people ask me like randomly, like, "Hey, what's the price now?" Most I don't care. I don't know. Who you tell me? Shit, I really don't care. Let's see. Keep thanking God. Zays is still good to hold and add stacks. Yeah, I think people building on top of Bitcoin is the biggest industry going forward. Because one thing I have noticed, and this is some alpha for you guys, is that we had ICO market, we had DeFi summer, we had all the craze over NFTs, we had the ETFs, everybody going crazy over that. To me, in this bull market, which I think may go into 2025, the biggest industry growth is going to be layer 2 Bitcoin companies. Because what has happened, I have started to see, and I have venture capitalist VC friends who are telling me this, they're moving away from projects or platforms that are giving NFTs or doing all these projects because if they can build it on Bitcoin, they would rather invest in it on Bitcoin. It's a much more secure, better asymmetric risk. So they're doing it silently before people realize it, and then when the L2 market blows up, and that market actually becomes more viable, $1 billion, $100 billion market, then people will look back and say, oh man, the bull run of 2024, 2025 was for L2s, all this utility and all of these different, I've seen stuff, ordinals and hashing ordinals and being able to mine different ways. All of that stuff is coming. Let's see. Memories with Mike. They actually are asking where are the airdrops and giveaways at that point. Yep. Airdrops coming soon. Satoshi Slim, I stopped checking daily in 22. Yeah, I stopped checking about that time. 22, 21. I just kind of, who cares, man? Only time I check it is when we do the show. Let's go. Enzo, ETH is too damn high. DeFi and Bitcoin makes sense. Exactly. If you've tried to send small amounts of Ethereum before, which I've tried to get people to show them how to do it, and they're like, yeah, I'm trying to send $70 and I can't send it, or I'm trying to send $40, I can't send it because fees are too high right now. That's very disheartening. And that's one of the things driving people away, going to Solana or building on top of Bitcoin. And it's like, they got to fix that, man. That's one thing. Shout out to the ETH people. Y'all, I'm sure y'all will figure it out, but right now it's looking terrible. Jake Fever, thanks, bro. We're going to be rich. Yeah, it is. I saw a tweet from a guy where he said, he basically said, doesn't it feel good that within the next 10 years, everybody will have have enough generational wealth? And if you think about it, I think by the year 2034, the value of the price of Bitcoin at a certain point, if you got 1 million Satoshis, 10 million Satoshis, you're pretty much set over the next 10 to 20 years. You should try and stack more, but one Bitcoin is going to become so, after this bull run is going to be so unattainable. Everything's going to be priced in Satoshis. I don't even think people are going to say whole Bitcoin 10 years from now. Like, it's going to be something outside of people's purview. Like, hey, you were around at the time when one Bitcoin was available. People are using one Bitcoin and able to use it as collateral in order to get a house now. At the price Bitcoin is right now, you can buy a really good car with Bitcoin. But in the future, if Bitcoin's $1 million, I can put it up as collateral. The LTV, loan to value ratio, I can get $500,000 and I can purchase a beautiful home, pay back the Bitcoin or pay back the money and get back my Bitcoin. So all of that is viable in the future. So yeah, it does feel good that in the next decade or so, pretty much everyone's going to be rich. Holloway, Fam Bam, hey Zay, do you think all this price action with Bitcoin reaching its all-time high but not breaking through it completely has something to do with actors keeping the price low because of the halving? Oh yeah, absolutely. There's always manipulation in any market. I think Coinbase shutting down is par for the course, but it's for a reason. I think that there are whoever was the guy from 2010 that sold over $100 million worth of Bitcoin. That was stacking up those sell prices, scared out probably a lot of the trading bots, which artificially suppressed the price. Also, leverage, people. Leverage is still very is used a lot, not just in America, but around the world. A lot of leverage is still used, so you can still see those price points fall at certain points on purpose. But because Bitcoin is scarce, it's the only asset where at some point the cat's out the bag. Like the slinky is unloose. I mean, Pandora's box is open. Whatever euphemism you want to use, when people start realizing how scarce it is, selling will be a thing of the past. Like it'll, and I don't think that's going to happen in this bull run. I think it's going to be closer to 2028 bull run, where it's like, okay, well, people are only getting 1.6 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. Like that's going to be the time where it's like, you get one Bitcoin when you, yeah. So we're not selling that. So it's definitely going to be fun times. Let's see. Hyben fees are normally lower around midnight for all of them. Yep. That's also built in as well. Level 99 Slacker installed Phoenix Wallet on my grandma's phone and sent her $500 worth of Bitcoin to her over Lightning. Beautiful, man. Love to see it. Love to hear those stories as well. But yes, that's our show for today, people. Once again, appreciate you all for tuning in. Make sure you tune in on Fuck Bitcoin Fridays. Love you guys. Cheers. Happy hump day.